Hello, fifth graders. For this week in math, we're going to focus on multiplying decimals with whole numbers. For this week in your Bridges math book, you are going to focus on pages 122, 123, 125, 126. Please skip page 124. For this math activity, you're going to need your Bridges workbook. You should have a calculator and a pencil handy with a scratch piece of paper near you or a whiteboard. For today, I'm going to use a whiteboard to show you how to do the ratio tables. So in this problem situation, we're going to go back to Callie. And if you remember, a couple weeks ago, Callie was trying to raise money so she could buy some soccer cleats. She had this idea of making cake pops, and so for this time she wants to make some bracelets. So again, she's trying to raise some money so that she could buy those fancy soccer cleats for her soccer team. And you know, sometimes when we participate in sports, we have to buy special equipment that costs money. So she is trying to pay for her equipment on her own. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some ratio tables to help Callie figure out what kind of bracelets she should make so that she can make the most money. So remember, if you have to make a bracelet, you have to consider the cost of how to make it. So if something costs a lot more money to make, it's probably not the best idea because you're going to spend all your money on materials. So Callie is really trying to find the cheapest way or the cheapest type of bracelet that she can sell. So I'm going to start with number 1, and then I'm going to show you how to do number 1. If you can do number 1, you can go ahead and do number 2. Again, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the problems, but if you look over the pages on your own and you believe that you can complete the exercises independently, you do not have to watch the rest of this video. But if you would like to check your work, or if you're unsure, you can just have your workbook and pencil ready and follow along. And you can pause the video if you want to complete the exercises on your own. Okay, let's start with number 1. Callie is still trying to make money to buy some soccer cleats. She decided to make some charts to help her choose what to do. Number 1. She could make beaded bracelets. They cost $2.25 each to make. Fill the table to show how much it would cost to make different numbers of beaded bracelets. So here's her ratio table. So we have the number of beaded bracelets running on the top and the cost going on the bottom. I'm going to show you how you can use addition and using the standard algorithm for multiplication in order to figure this out. Okay, so let's start. We know that for one bracelet, it costs $2.25 to make. So for 2 bracelets right here, we're just going to double the price. So think $2.25 plus $2.25. So if you can figure that out on your own, you can go ahead and do that. So if I think $2.25 plus $2.25, that's going to come up to being $4.50. Okay, for the next part, we're going to go to 4 bracelets. Now remember, to get to 4, I just double 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. So to figure out the price for those bracelets, I am just going to double $4.50. $4.50 plus $4.50. I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can probably figure this out in your head. $4.50 plus $4.50 is going to come to $9. Okay, so now we're going to go to 5. So if you can figure out 4 and you figured out 1, you should be able to figure out the price for 5 bracelets. So remember, 1 plus 4 equals 5. So to figure out the total amount of bracelets, I'm going to add the price for 1 bracelet and add the price for 4 bracelets. That would be $2.25 plus $9. So take a moment and figure that out. And then the total should come to $11.25. Okay, now we're going to go to 8. So we know that to get 8, it means I have to double the 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, or 4 times 2 is 8. So to figure out the price of 8 bracelets, I'm going to double the price for 4. 9 plus 9, or 9 times 2, which is 18. Okay, now we're going to get to 9. So I know with 9 bracelets, when I think of 9, you can think of 1 plus 8. 1 plus 8 equals 9. So to figure out the price for 9 bracelets, I'm going to take the price of 1 bracelet and add it to $18. So I know 1 bracelet is $2.25, 8 bracelets is $18. So $2.25 plus $18 will come out to $20.25. Okay, we're almost done with this ratio table. So next I'm going to go to 10. I love number 10. And you should love number 10 too, because 10 is related to 1. The only difference is the extra 0. So whenever you get to 10, I want you to think about go back to 1. So I know that 1, for 1 bracelet, it's $2.25. So I'm going to multiply this by 10 to get the price for 10 bracelets. What's so great with decimals, and whenever you multiply 10, do you remember the trick? You're going to push the decimal to the right. 1 place to the right because there's 1 0. Let me show you what that looks like on the whiteboard. So if I have 225, I'm going to, when I multiply it by 10, I'm going to move the decimal 1 place because there's 1 0. So then the price for 10 would be $22.50. Okay, now we're going to get to 19. So 19, if I think about the number 19, you can think about 19 would really be 9 plus 10. 9 plus 10 is 19. So to figure out the price for 19, I'm going to add $20.25 plus $22.05. So the easiest way to do this is to really just stack the two amounts. So I'm going to take the price for 9, add it to the price of 10, add them together, and I should have $42.75. Okay, now we're on the last problem, which is the 20. Now, again, like 10, 20 is also a great number to work with because it's friendly. So I want you, with 10, we went back to the 1 to help us figure out the 10. 10 is connected to 1. So now if you think of 20, we know that 20 is connected to 2. So you notice the difference between 2 and 20 is that 1 0. 20 is 10 times larger than the 2. So I want you to think about that trick that we used for the 2. So for 2, it was $4.50. To get 20, I'm going to push that decimal to the right. So for 2, it's $4.50. Now to get to 20, I'm going to push the decimal over because 20 is 10 times larger. Push it over to the right. And I should have 45. And I can always check my work because I could think about 20 as 10 times 2. If I add 2250 plus 2250, I should come to $45 as well. Okay, so you've completed the first ratio table. So for the next problem, on problem 2, it's very similar to problem 1. The only difference is the price. So in this case, it was $2.25, and in this problem, this bracelet costs $3.50 to make. So I want you to go ahead and do problem 2 on your own. Okay, now we're going to move on to problem 3. She could also make woven bracelets. They cost $1.20 each to make. Fill in the table to show how much it would cost to make different numbers of woven bracelets. So in this problem, the ratio table looks a little bit different. So we have 1, 5, 9, 10, 15, 49, 50, 99, and finally 100. So I want you to take a moment and really think about how are these numbers related to each other. So just like we did in problem 1, we have one bracelet. Think about if one bracelet is going to be related to 10. We have 5. 5 is going to be related to 50. We have 15. So if you think of 15, you can think of 10 plus 5. And then if you think of 49, you can think of 50, take away 1. And then we have 100. 100 is related to the 10, but there's one more extra 0. Okay, let's go ahead and do number 3 together. Remember, if this is something that you can do on your own, you do not need to watch this video. But if you feel like you need a little bit extra support, you can go ahead and follow along and complete in the workbook as I show you how to figure out the problem. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So for one bracelet, it's $1.20. So now I have to figure out how much it's going to be for 5 bracelets. Now I can do this 2 ways. I can use repeated addition, or I could use multiplication. I think multiplication is actually going to be easier in this case. Let me show you. So we have $1 times 5. I'm going to use the standard algorithm, and then I'm going to put the decimal back in its place. All I did is take out that decimal. Now I'm going to multiply. Zero times 5 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down the 0. Regroup the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So now we know that the answer is not going to be 600, right? It's not going to be $600. So I have to place the decimal back, and I have to bring it up. I have to put the decimal back 2 places, because right here it was 2 places after. So if you imagine the decimal's here, I'm going to move it 2 places, 1, 2. So it would cost $6 to make 5 bracelets. That makes the most sense. Okay, let's go over to 9. Now I noticed that 9, there really isn't numbers that I can use to make 9. So I am actually going to use the standard algorithm to figure out the price for 9 bracelets. So I'm going to take $1 times 9. I'm going to remove the decimal. Now I'm going to use the standard algorithm, and I'm going to place the decimal back.